It is. There we go. We're live. All right. What the heck was that, huh? So that was a complete and utter crash of my computer. I do apologize, folks. It happens. And Jeeves, I will email you the link. I'm just going to remember that I put it in a particular place. So there we go, Jeeves. And I'll get everybody back in here. And again, I apologize, guys. My main rig burnt its power supply, and this one is just not strong enough to run it. I thought it was going to run it because I streamlined it, but it did not. So, yay, there we are. I'll get Cruz back. I'll get everybody back here in a second, and we'll get our chat on again. And this is probably not going to run as smooth as I would like either. So, but it's what it is. I don't know why my video card's buffering out so bad, but might help. That's what it is. There we go. And there we go. So that's a little better. Here we go. So once we get everybody in here, we'll get our chat back on. We were right in the middle of everything and that happened. I really, really do apologize about that. It does happen from even to the best of us. There we go with that. There we go. Sorry about that again. I do apologize. There we go. There. And I'll get back into there. Back there. So hopefully G's make it in here in a minute. And we'll get Cruz back. We'll get Tina back in here and everybody be joyous and happy. Go. So because the notification is going to have to go out. People are going to have to realize I'm still on. So, yeah. Oh, I got to love it. I just got to see if they're going to honor replacing that power supply for me because it's not even a year old. So, well, so that guy's just having that problem. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, new link there, Tina. I want to say thank you. Jeez, don't even get me started, guys. I'm going to have a fit. Yeah. Donation link is down below. You want to run a hardcore stream, you better have a hardcore computer. I did. Power supply failed. Hopefully it didn't take anything else out, but I don't think it did. It just and then refused to come on. And when I tested it, the power supply wouldn't boot up. And this power supply is nowhere near strong enough to run that rig and can barely run this one. So I'll just go with the regular Hangout and chat and we'll do it that way. There we go. Get that like that. Desktop. My main rig is actually a i7 Skylake 4790 with 16 gigs of RAM.
What
And
happened, Craig?
this computer crashed. Right, it's
Oh, okay.
just not heavy duty enough to run it. So I
Okay.
tried it, and it was running okay, and then it started dropping a lot of frames really quick, and then it locked up because it's old. It's only an old Duo core, so when you start streaming video and you start putting all this other stuff, us chatting, and you get this all going, I noticed the frame rate started dropping, and then the alerts started going off. So I tried to handle them, and then it just boom, and we went down. So it
Yeah,
happens.
we're just sitting here wondering what what was going on. We're like, oh, okay, somebody else dropped out. Somebody else. See something blip up on my screen, and we're just like, well, me and Cruz just gonna sit here and chat until we figure out
What's going on? Yeah, no, I figured you guys would stick around in there. I'm like, could you guys hear me cursing at all?
No.
Oh, I almost
You were
punched it.
down.
Yeah. It was just like poof, down I went, right? And I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, so I lost it. Oh, I'm going to check a couple other things. I know my electricity is okay because the fireman's not giving me any info. I have a conditioner, right? So I know the power coming into the computers is always good, but
Yeah.
it happens. It's what it is, right? So I was just saying, if you can donate because I'm probably going to have to buy a new power supply tomorrow. So, and I don't scrimp out. This one here, I'm hoping they honor the warranty. That's all I'm hoping. But you know how that'll go? Well, send it back to the company. I'll be waiting forever for that.
Yeah.
I had an 800-watt power supply that failed in a year. Give me a break, right? So that's what it is. All right, feel free to jump in. Anybody wants to jump in, jump in. It won't go down again. I'm running at bare bones minimum here, so it should work just fine. It did before, so it will work again, I'm sure. Da Vinci, that exactly. I wasn't in the middle of a raid, and it was just one of those things. I'm glad it wasn't that failed out. It did it during dev stream. It just boom and shut down. And then when I tried to get up with this one, which is like my backup / TV rig, it just can't handle it. It's just it's only 16 gigs of RAM in it. 8. Sorry, this one's 8. The video card, it can do it sort of. But yeah, it's just not up to it. It's only a dual core. When you consider that my i7's an 8 core, 4793.6 gig, blah, 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 blah. So
it sounds like somebody needs a new computer, huh?
No, that other computer just needs a power supply. Power supplies fail all the time.
Okay.
It's fairly common when you're running a lot of horsepower. So think of it like a car, a drag race. Right? Those guys blow their motors all the time, right? It's just par for the course when you're going to push it that hard. So this one, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. So hence I hope they honor the warranty. So they should. All right, we got 7 of these back. I think we were about 12 or 13. Hopefully people see it and it notifies out. So yeah, we were just shooting the breeze about your Mimic tank when I went out, and you were thanking Cruz there.
Yeah, I said there the Mimic is just cracking me up on how much of a puppy he is.
An LMZ, as far as a drain strainer, tall variation or low profile variation. Huh? Let's try that again. Or am I misunderstanding what you're asking?
As far as a drain strainer. Oh, he's probably talking about like
Yeah.
Drain strainer.
Right. The drain strainer on your tank.
A Durso?
On a Durso, yeah, I would probably and you're switching it over to the emergency and the full siphon. I'd probably get a tall, just because it tends to draw from the bottom, the guard. So if you get a flat one, it lends itself to getting plugged easier. So I know what you're talking about now. Get a tall one. Yeah. And it's easier to clean, and don't even glue it in. Make it so you can pop it out and clean it off when you need to. So
yep, that's I like that. I can pop it off and under the sink and
clean it off and scrub it off. You got it. Yeah, you got it, Tina. It's Sorry, my brain's stuck in computer mode, and I'm thinking drain strainer. What the hell's a drain strainer? Right? Cool. Yeah, my gate valve's on the way. I can't wait. Like I said, got a lot going on here, so it's going to be. Some days my brain will just not be there. I swear. It's a promise, not a threat. Yeah. So. And Jeeves, I'm going to send you your email again because I think it's doing the same thing it does to Tim. Copy. So yeah, so at least your tangs are getting along. Everything's going swimmingly. No pun
yes,
intended.
it's really good today.
Good.
They're swimming together and eating together and
awesome.
Doing really well. And the mimic, at first, when I put it in there, he would be backing down a lot and trying to run away. Well, he stands his ground now too. So if the yellow tang does come up and turn around, like hit him with his tail, he's like, "Oh yeah, well, bring it on." And
yeah, I'll do the same thing there, buddy. I
got the tang backs off. The yellow tang does.
Yeah, flicks out his little switchblade. I'll kill you, man.
Yeah, I kill you. Yeah, they're doing good. That's really awesome.
Yep. Awesomeness. Evening. Hello, Mel. How are you? Go copy my link.
Hi, Melanie.
Get Melanie in here to talk about her tank.
Yeah.
I know she's home from work. I know what time it is where you are. It's only 6.
Yeah, but she's probably just getting home from work.
More than likely.
And I got my new corals yesterday. I ordered some from Rico, and they're all doing pretty good so far. The only thing I'm a little worried about is my bird's nest, because the bag had half the amount of water the other ones did. Just kind of leaked out the bag. I don't know how it would have leaked, though. That's the thing. It was tied up like all the rest of them, but it did. Everybody else has got their polyps all out nice and fuzzy. And the pink's bird's nest looks like it's trying to, but it's like, nah.
Yeah, it may eventually, keep
I think I'm just going to leave it in there and, see what happens.
Exactly.
If it doesn't like where I've got it, then I'll move it onto the rack because it's in a frag rack right now. If it doesn't like it, in another day or two, then I'll just put it where the bird's nest I already have is in the tank just to see if it'll respond in that area.
Good. Yeah, and it should. You know what I mean? Like, you keep them low, start them off that way. Things usually kind of work themselves out, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to make the cruise call.
Yeah, my styloporas are going to be really pretty, I've got a feeling, because they're all fat and fuzzy.
Yeah, and you got a pretty decent light, so,
Yeah.
And stylos tend to be a little less demanding, right?
Yeah.
I can't seem to keep an SPS in my tank. I now know why. I know what was going on. So now it's kind of okay, I'm going to let things mature away, and then I'm going to do it, because it just seems to be with my tanks, the maturity levels just needs to be there to keep them healthy and happy.
Yeah.
I did a cheap little try with the monoporous setosa that's in the 20. And it's going okay. It's working, right? So now it's like, okay, so we'll see where that goes. They're a little bit of this, they're having a little bit of trouble, but the rest of the tank's doing fantastic. So now it's like, okay, I'll wait and see what's going on.
Yeah, I tried with a little plate piece from my local fish store, just when I first got this tank set up.
Yep.
Actually, it was before this one, because I got it while I still had the 50 going. So I got that and a bird's nest. And then when I switched them over to the new tank, that's when I started noticing the growth. So I know that some sorts of SPS will grow in there. And so that's why, I went with another bird's nest. And then I asked him what other easy ones would be, and he recommended those. So I said, all right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens in there. Oh, and I got a green Monty cap. Now
Oh
that one
yes.
there
Okay.
lost some of its color, but when the blue lights come on, I mean, during the day right now, it looks kind of brown. But when the lights go down, like right now, I can go over there and there's green dots all over it. So I know it's still there too. So I just
Yep.
have to, it's just the same thing. It's gonna have to, it's been shipped. It's gonna have to take a little time to recover.
Yeah, exactly. LMZ asks you, Tina, you have the current Marine Orbit Link ones, right? The IC, correct?
Yeah, I have the current Orbit IC Marine Pros, or Marine IC Pro, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah.
And it has 2 LED strips. So if anybody was in there asking, I wasn't for sure. Oh yeah, IMZ. Yeah, and I really like them. I'm loving them lights. They are growing my corals nicely. Without much.
There's Jeeves. How you doing, Jeeves?
What's up, y'all?
Hi, Dee.
Phew, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, you
I'm
working tonight?
Yeah, and I'm out of snuff.
I'm out of stuff. That did not sound right.
I'm out of snuff?
Snuff.
Oh, snuff. I thought you said stuff.
No, I'm out of snuff.
Oh.
It's been a long night. I tried to go borrow some / steal some from the tankerman, and he has something that I can't do it.
There we go. So, Tina, LMC's asking you, do you use the custom settings or are you using the pre-tuned stuff?
I'm using the pre-tuned stuff. The whatever's on there, it comes on at 7 o'clock in the morning and it ramps up, does its daylight settings, ramps down starting at 7. And then I get moonlight for 6 hours after it's, lost all of its. So about 1 o'clock in the morning, it goes off until 7 o'clock the next day.
There we go.
What lights do you have, Tina?
The Marine Orbit IC Pros by Current.
Yep, I remember now.
They are so beast. They're growing stuff like crazy in here. I'm liking it.
Yeah, they're nice lights.
Yeah, they are really slick.
Yeah,
I do like the look of them.
Oh. Go ahead, Tina. Go ahead.
Could mess with the lighting, where they have you like take down some of the white light, blah blah blah, because it's got white, green, blue, and red.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to mess with any of that stuff, so I'd rather not even touch it, because knowing me, I'd mess it up. And then all my corals will die, and then I'll be sad.
You just got to go in there. You go green, adjust, red, adjust.
Yep.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know what percentage, because I don't know.
I run greens and reds on 5%.
But see, these guys aren't like metal halides or anything like that. I wouldn't know.
If you're not having algae problems, you don't need to.
No.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't have any algae issues at all.
Yeah, that's the reds and
greens. If I did, I'm sure my tangs and that would probably chow down on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reds and greens supposedly contribute a little more to algae growth.
Okay.
So a lot of people find that if they turn reds and greens down, they don't get as much algae growth.
Exactly.
So if you're not having problems with algae, there's no reason to screw it.
No reason to even bother with
it. We're still new into it yet, too. So I'm not sure, when algae decides to kick in. Is there a certain amount of months or something like that? If it was going to kick in, I would know by now. Or
you'd know by now.
You know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be right in the thick of it.
My GSP rot is the only thing that I've ever seen this little hairy green algae on there. But then since I got the blenny and the tangs in there, they keep it picked off. So there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as your nutrients are down, it's not a problem. It's like Cruz talks about. You got to have, or Cruz and Nick both talk about that kind of stuff. Like Nick, if you're cycling, why have the lights on? It just makes algae grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If you're growing algae, you cut back on the rocks, you reduce your nutrients, you introduce feeders. So things to eat on the algae,
Yep.
which you have, that keep it under control because it's always growing even if you don't see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they're constantly picking at the rocks.
Yep. That's what they're doing. They're eating that
They're
little bit of
grazing.
algae off of it as it grows.
Yeah. And I'm not, I mean, all the rock that's in there is all live rock. So I know, I'm sure, like I said, I've seen tufts there, but I also have seen the fish eating it. So, and I feed once a day and I do like a varied diet. So, like, they don't get the same thing every day. And I don't feed live food every day. So, I'm hoping that with the fact that I do feed twice a day, but the morning is just like an algae strip, or not algae, it's the seaweed. I just give them a piece of the seaweed strip in the morning just so that they got something to start their day out on. And then I give them their main meal at night when I get home. And they pretty much don't care. You know, they know when it's time to eat. And then that way I don't have a whole bunch sitting in there. They pretty much eat it all. And what they don't get, the cleanup crew probably does. I've got quite a few hermits in there.
See, I like the emerald crab. He's been doing work on those diatoms or cyano or whatever it was that I had.
I'd like to have an emerald crab, but I've got snails that I love.
Mine so far doesn't mess with him. I had another one in at 75. He didn't mess with him either.
Now, see,
I don't think they bother snails, do they?
It killed. I had 2 emerald crabs in my last tank, and they killed. And I was feeding the same way I'm feeding these guys. So I know they were getting plenty to eat. And you just, when your hand syringe feeding them, shrimp and stuff like that, watching them eat, you're getting plenty to eat. But they killed all of my hermit crabs and my snails. And I'm like, nope, not doing this again.
Oh, snails do. When they die, they reek. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even bother taking them out anymore. I just leave them in there.
Who said that?
They only get emeralds only get what, 2 inches?
Emerald crab?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, about 2 inches.
Okay.
LMZ with another question about your marine orbits. Do you use the loop controller or are you using the Bluetooth?
I don't have the Bluetooth controller. I have only the loop. I use my little remote control, and actually, since I've set it up, I haven't had to touch it. I probably, if I were to pick up the remote control right now, I'd probably mess it up.
Yeah. That's the thing about those new lights, all the new lights. There's that kind of a set and forget. You can just do it and you're done, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of the nice thing.
It's all set up. I know how to do the timer and all that good kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
If I needed to set the timer, for like your fall ahead, or what is it, fall back, spring ahead, I know how to do that.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need to know.
See, that's the thing. I believe, because I've played with my brothers a little bit, the way they work is at full intensity, you set your lights on what you want, and then it's just a ramp from 0 to X, X, Y, or RGB, and then a ramp down. So like you would hit your green, and you would use your down arrow to turn your greens down.
Okay.
And you would hit your red, and you'd use your arrow to turn your reds down, and then it'll automatically go to that amount of reds and greens every time.
Yeah.
There you go. So.
Cool.
Yeah, you doing, Tim?
Hello. I'm doing good.
There we go. I got to turn old Timothy up.
I'll get a little closer. Yeah. Got the light in. We're ready. We're ready to rock and roll.
There you go. Start transferring corals, are you?
This weekend. Yeah, this weekend. Yeah, it came out okay. Sometimes you buy things on eBay, you don't know what you're going to get. But in both cases, with the mount and with the light itself, they look as described. They look really. Both of them look. One was supposed to be 6 months old. The other one was he had bought it and hadn't used. He used it like 6 months, put it in the closet, and I was like, yeah, right. But so they both look new. They look really good. So I got a good deal, I think, on both of them. I checked out the light today, hooked it up, and to the link, and it's working fine. So, yay! Finally.
Good, good.
Yeah.
You never ever beat that.
Yeah, that's about half what you would pay for a new one. That's for daggone sure. I um, so I have a matching pair of XR30 Gen 3 Plus. There we go.
Can't beat that.
And we'll wait until 2-3 years until everybody's selling the Gen 4s, and then I'll buy them.
Yeah, exactly. And buy up Gen 4s, and and there's nothing wrong with that. That's basically Reefing with O. That's his kind of mainstays. He just goes looking for people selling off their stuff that are out, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it works out really well for him, right?
Yeah. There's some
Seems
stuff
to.
on the Gen 4s, but it just to me right now, it just doesn't. I had one Gen 3 Pro, so you might as well get it. I was just matching, and it just makes everything easier. And I did fine with the Gen 3 Pro that I have. I like a lot. So what's why get crazy here?
Yeah.
It's crazy enough to what you pay for them.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Even you.
Well, even my black boxes aren't cheap. I mean, they're not free.
Yeah.
I don't know why, people kind of poop on them, but I mean, mine were great. I modify them simply for the look, for the color, right? Yada, yada, yada. There's no other reason I do it other than that.
What do you
and
go take
cyan.
out the greens?
Yeah,
no,
take
you
out
replace the
the
whites
reds
too, right?
Yeah, I replaced the whites with cool white, and I replaced a couple of blues with UV, and then I replaced the green and the reds with cyan and blues. So I don't really use the red.
Hey, Craig, does your tank look blue all the time, though, during the day?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's usually got a bit of a blue tinge, but I like that, and my corals like that, and I turn it up myself, right? That's the only thing that sucks about a black box, is I manually have to turn it up. They've got ones now you can do that, but I find Viper Spectra makes a black box like mine, but it's got the controller built in.
I was checking into those before I decided on my currents.
Yeah, and the problem with Viper Spectra is they are a little more costly. They're about 200 and something a piece.
Yep.
My thing is, if you're going to buy those, you may as well get Arctic Horizon.
Exactly, or spend another $50 and get yourself some AI primes. They do the exact same thing.
Yep.
And primes are great. And that's what I tell people. And they got a wicked warranty behind them too, right? So
unless you've got a deep tank, then you're just going to have to either get the 247s or shell out, or black boxes, or shell out more money and get the Hydras.
You got it. The Hydra 26 or 52, depending on the length of your tank. So how's everybody doing?
On the Radeon, I don't use. You guys were talking about before I got on. The red and the green. I learned a big lesson. I had last time I said it, the 93. As a matter of fact, when I set that up, in the beginning I had a ton of algae, and somebody told me you need to tone down the red and the green and a little bit of the turn it down. And so I did that, and I did some other things, and I finally got the algae under control there. But it was so I don't. Then thereafter, I just stuck to. I like the blue anyway. So
a lot of people do. Yeah.
I like the cooler blue, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
So like on my. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I think so too. That's what I would call it a cool. I don't like blue.
Yeah. I don't like the dark blue, but I run. Well, I will be running because I've got it on Acclimate on an AI Prime HD on my Nano. I'll be running 85. So that's UV violet, 100 blue, royal blue, so blue, dark blue, 85 cool white. I'm sorry, 35 cool white, and then it'll be like 5 to 10. I haven't decided yet. Reds and greens.
Yeah. That's
to me, it looks like when you're in a pool, if you swim to the bottom with goggles, that light blue color.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like. So to me, it's more like what sunlight is.
Yeah. I know I mentioned Jason Fox a lot, but I watched that video, and that's what he likes. He likes blue, and that's what he said it was out like there. You get beyond the beach and out a little bit. He said it's blue. It's blue. Really blue. So, and you obviously don't have any trouble growing corals with blue.
No.
Exactly. So, guys, I'm getting ready to crash here again. The computer's already starting to do its thing.
Oh,
No.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cut it short tonight. I'm gonna have to just solve my problem tomorrow.
all right.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. Later on.
Later, bud.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good evening. Bye-bye.
You too.